The woman who changed my life forever wasn't my first love. She wasn't my high school sweetheart. She wasn't the girl I thought I'd marry. In fact, the first time I met my wife, I almost walked away because I thought she was judging me. If I had, I would have spent the rest of my life wondering what happiness actually looked like. My name is Adam, and this is the story of the one woman who saved me without ever trying. When I was 28, I thought I had life figured out. Good job, nice apartment, decent car. On paper, everything looked great. Reality was different. I worked 12-hour days, ordered takeout almost every night, spent weekends alone pretending I enjoyed having my freedom. The truth? I was lonely. I just refused to admit it. One Friday evening, my coworker convinced me to attend a charity fundraiser. "I already bought your ticket," he said. "You have no excuse." I almost stayed home. Looking back, that would have been the biggest mistake of my life. I arrived late, grabbed a drink, stood awkwardly near the wall, checking my phone every 30 seconds. Then I accidentally bumped into someone. Coffee splashed everywhere, mostly on her white blouse. I froze. "I'm so sorry." She looked down, then started laughing, not fake laughing, real, uncontrollable laughter. I remember thinking, who laughs after getting coffee dumped on them? "I was planning to replace this shirt anyway," she said. "Now, I finally have an excuse." That was Olivia. We spent the next 3 hours talking, not flirting, just talking. Travel, books, childhood stories, our embarrassing first jobs. For the first time in years, I completely forgot to check my phone. Our first date happened a week later, then another, then another. She wasn't flashy. She didn't play games. If something bothered her, she said it. If something made her happy, she said that too. It was refreshing. One evening, about 6 months into dating, she came to my apartment. She looked around quietly. There were unopened moving boxes from 2 years earlier, laundry piled on a chair, fast food containers on the counter. She didn't criticize me. She simply asked, "Are you happy living like this?" I immediately became defensive. What's wrong with it? Nothing. If this is the life you want. That sentence stayed in my head for days. Not because she insulted me, because she hadn't. She'd simply asked a question I'd been avoiding for years. Was I actually happy? The answer was no. Over the next few months, I started changing little things, cooking instead of ordering food, going to the gym again, calling my parents more often, not because Olivia asked me to, because she reminded me that I'd stopped taking care of myself long before we met. A year later, I proposed. She said yes before I even finished asking. Marriage wasn't perfect. No marriage is. We argued about money, paint colors, whose family we'd visit during holidays, real life. Then something happened that tested everything. 2 years into our marriage, the company I'd worked for nearly a decade suddenly shut down. One meeting, one announcement, hundreds of people unemployed. I drove home completely numb. I expected panic, disappointment, maybe even fear. Instead, Olivia handed me a cup of coffee, sat beside me, and asked, "What do you want to do next?" Not, "What are we going to do?" Not, "How could this happen?" She believed I'd figure it out before I believed it myself. For 6 months, I couldn't find another job. Interviews, rejections, more interviews, more rejection. I became someone I barely recognized, short-tempered, quiet, ashamed. One evening, I apologized. "I'm sorry you're stuck with me." She looked genuinely confused. "Stuck? I've been unemployed for months." She smiled. "I married a person, not a paycheck." I don't think she realized what those words did to me. They gave me permission to stop measuring my worth by my salary. Eventually, I started freelancing. That turned into my own small business. Today, I earn more than I ever did at my old job. Ironically, losing everything gave me the courage to build something better. A few years later, our son was born. Watching Olivia become a mother made me fall in love with her all over again. Not because she was perfect, because she wasn't afraid to admit when she was overwhelmed. She taught me something I never learned growing up. Strength isn't pretending everything is fine. Strength is asking for help before you break. Last year, while cleaning out our attic, I found an old notebook. Inside was a list I'd written before meeting Olivia. Everything I thought success looked like: expensive car, corner office, luxury apartment. Not once had I written the words happy marriage, family, peace. I realized I'd spent years chasing things while completely ignoring the life I actually wanted. Olivia didn't magically fix me. She didn't rescue me. She simply asked better questions than I was asking myself, questions that forced me to become honest. People always ask what made me fall in love with her. They expect some dramatic story, a perfect moment, a grand romantic gesture. The truth is much simpler. She made me want to become someone I was proud of. Not because she demanded it, because she believed I already could be. Looking back, the one woman who changed my life forever didn't change it by giving me money, or opportunities, or connections. She changed it by believing in me on the days I couldn't believe in myself. That's a gift no amount of success can ever replace. If you're lucky enough to have someone who quietly makes you a better person just by being in your life, don't wait until it's too late to tell them. Because sometimes the greatest love stories aren't built on dramatic moments. They're built on thousands of ordinary days spent with the one person who makes you want to become extraordinary.